Thanks so much for joining us on the show today. Tell us a little bit about these after-school programs. 3 years in the making. How has it been going so far?
So I have a foundation called OmniPeace. OmniPeace builds schools to empower youth living in extreme poverty in Africa. The Rwanda Rocks Music School is actually our 10th school. My first 7 are primary schools in Senegal, Mali, and Malawi. And I came to Rwanda to guerrilla trek. And I fell in love with the country. And my cab driver had said to me, will you please build a music school? And I said, absolutely not. And cut to 3 years later, here we are. You know, we were sponsored by Gibson Foundation, Roland, DW Drums. They donated hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of instruments. And basically, they were on their way before I even was or I'd committed to this project. So it was really a divine intervention, the music schools. 3 years later, we're doing unbelievably. I was part of an Women Invest in Africa mission, and we all people putting big interventions into the country and making it a first world country by 2050. And what I've come to find in really inserting myself in the country and the government and the education system is that there really isn't a large music culture here. So I feel like we can really be kind of an incubator for a music school of excellence and launch a mission that can be a blueprint for more music schools. And I think it's important to incorporate a music education into any child's life because it's the thing that allows them to have creative skills and critical skills and all those things that it's just not, learning A, B, C, D. It's
Sure.
How do you connect? How do you have passion? How do you have joy? What are your dreams? How do you accomplish those?
Sure. Have you worked with some of the music schools that are in Rwanda? There is, I think, the most famous upcountry called Nyundo. Have you been working together with local schools?
No, I have not. I haven't, other than when I first came here 3 years ago, I met the person who I believe founded that. And, I think we're a little bit more of an isolated situation because we're an after-school program. We're just music. We don't offer anything else. We have top-of-the-line instruments. I know it's hard to get these instruments, and it was hard for me to get the instruments into the country. Right. But so I would like to work with everybody else that's here. That hasn't kind of come across my way yet. So we're just kind of doing the best we can with what we have and who we are.
Right. How do the music programs sustain? And just before you answer, if you could just move your hair away from the mics, just so that we can hear you properly.
Yes.
But how
Instead
do
of my hair over the mic.
how do they sustain financially?
I fundraise. So I do a fundraiser every year in Los Angeles, my Rock Rwanda benefit, and we raise funds for the operating costs of the school each year. That was for the first 3 years. Now because now I feel confident enough that we actually are here to stay and that we can develop a sustainable program, that there isn't just funds going in where there's funds coming, or there isn't just funds going out, they're coming in. And so we'll now do programs where we bring in private students, or we'll go into schools and teach our curriculum into the schools if, we want to integrate our program with other schools.
So tell us about the recent fundraiser. Now there's a new mobile music bus that may be hitting the road. Tell us about that.
We don't have it yet, so that's what the fundraiser will be in Los Angeles in November. And what I learned, we did the first Rwanda Rocks Music School in the Kaziba refugee camp, and it was a brick and mortar school, and we went in and we were there for about a year. And I saw what happened to the children in a very little bit amount of time with music in their lives. And I think it was that moment where I said, this is not about the music school for me. This is about, I see the effect that it's having on kids' life, to understand that, their life, the beginning and the end of their life is not all in front of them. There's a whole life out there that they can have. And I'm not a musician, so I didn't come from that place of having music in my life where it did that for me. But I've lived it through these kids. And in that camp, I realized that, then there was a protest and we had to leave. So not everybody can come to the school. Not everybody gets to go to a music school, or do they have it in their schools? So I thought, well, why not kind of bring music to them, take music on the road. So with a bus, with all the equipment inside, and kind of, we designed a stage that can come out, so not only can we teach classes, but then we can perform. It's all in one. So we can go to the villages, we can go to the refugee camps. We're not just in one kind of flagship school where we are right now, which is great, but we can be everywhere.
Sure. So you're bringing in these students and you're changing their lives in this way, but who else's lives are you changing? Are you creating local employment?
Yeah.
Who are you working with to teach
Yeah.
these students and to use these top-of-the-line equipment?
Yeah. So they're all local teachers that honestly, I don't know how I found them. Again, it's all part of this kind of divine intervention. We somehow came across each other, or they came. It's like that Field of Dreams quote, if you build it, they will come. And that's kind of what happened. I just got an incredible vocal teacher. We had a benefit, or just a small concert for the kids on Sunday night, and she got up and played or sang Bocelli. She's like an opera singer. I mean, everybody in the audience, was in tears. Along with when the kids performed, they were in tears. But so, an incredible singing teacher. We have a piano teacher that can play everything from Bruno Mars to Bach. Right. Dodo, our drum teacher. Just everybody, I feel, is like probably one of the best teachers in Rwanda. Everybody I employ is local.
Sure, and you mentioned that there were some problems bringing in some of the equipment that you've been using. What other challenges did you face, and how did you even overcome that one?
Money.
Fair enough.
Well, you just have to pay taxes, bringing anything in from another country. That makes sense. I didn't know how much it was going to be. It was my first time working here, and so I'm sure that's normal. But so that was one of the things. Finding a space to work in, finding the kids, finding the teachers. All of those things were challenges, which again, yes, they were challenges, but at the same time, I feel like it all happened pretty effortlessly and seamlessly. I didn't feel like at any time I was panicking and going, oh my gosh, where am I gonna? It would be like a thought would come and I would say, now we need kids, and they would somehow present themselves.
Right.
And now we need teachers,
right.
and they would somehow come.
Almost as if it was meant to be. Well,
Exactly.
we'll be looking out for that mobile music bus coming to roads hopefully soon. Good luck with the fundraising, and thanks so much for coming on the show today.